But yes, we're gonna be talking about the bear, the ins and outs. But we're gonna, of course, we had the final season, but I think we're gonna go back in time and just talk about the origin, where it all started. The bear, I think, came out in June 2022. It came out kind of out of nowhere. I don't know how you guys experienced or when it came to your radar, but it kind of just popped on my feed of like this.
They went
FX
hard
show.
with the marketing because it was a new show. I think this was just after the success of Boiling Point, so everyone was kind of already in that space of like, oh, I want to be a chef.
Yeah.
I want to see the chef experience. Everyone loves like Hell's Kitchen anyway, so we were already, and Master Chef, so we were already seeing there's a trend of people liking that. So I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. That's the thing for me. I feel like what popped on my feed was my man himself, Jeremy Allen White. He popped through. Obviously, you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Shameless US. So when the show came to an end, I was always just thinking about where these actors gonna go. So when he popped on my feed, I was like, oh, this is the new thing he's working on. I did like the fact it was an FX show. I think FX do great shows. I think they're kind of underrated in terms of the shows they make. And then seeing that was related to cooking, I was like, okay, we haven't seen much of a cooking show. The only time we've seen cooking element has always been in a reality base, but never like in a scripted structure. So it kind of drew me in. And then that's how I was like brought into the whole ethos.
Editing of first season made it difficult for you not to want to watch it.
Yeah.
I think what drew me to it was how people described it as anxiety-inducing.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely facts. I think when you watch the first season, you get this feeling that these characters showcase that everything just rush. And I feel like you feel what they're feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think they've done a great way to show how chaos can affect people individually, especially in a work environment. But yeah, it drew me in quite quickly when I started watching it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the brilliance of the career of Chris Stork. What was the backstory of him? He has a track record. He did a show called Remy. I don't know if you guys seen Remy. Remy was a good show. I think he's done some other stuff fall in line to that, but he's born and raised, I believe, in Chicago.
He grew up in Chicago for a bit, then moved. But his childhood friend, who's also on the show, his family owned Mr. Beef Chicagoland. And they've been in existence since like 1979, 1974.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
Historic family business, I guess. Yeah. I think he used to always go there to get meals and stuff. And I think he even spoke to the owner saying that I'm gonna one day like write something about this.
Yeah.
So eventually he finally did. I think Remy was coming to a close and he decided he wanted to do a show on this, pitched it to FX. FX, it's crazy. The whole production of The Bear is like a Bear episode. It was very intense and indulgent in terms of like, they had a small budget. I think it was $2 million per episode, which sounds like a lot, but they're shooting in Chicago and have like certain actors involved as well. So it can get quite tight. And he kind of just wanted to create like a merger of like touching on chef life, but also touching on trauma and mental illness as well. Then he kind of combined the two.
And it was like a celebration of the Chicago food culture.
Yeah.
As a British person, I didn't realize how big it was until really watching The Bear.
Yeah, same. I always knew Chicago for like its architecture and its art.
And its music,
music as well. But it was such a huge food scene as well. So it was quite interesting to see. And then we got season 1, and I think it took a while for everyone else to like realize how great this show was. But I think it was probably like a couple months after it's released when people realized and it started picking up, and then it started becoming a whole trend of like talking about The Bear. Like we got many quotes of like chef, everyone calling each other chef, or backs, like corner, start becoming phrase within the mainstream world. How do you guys feel about season 1? Is there any episodes that kind of spoke out to you through that season?
I think the was it reviews?
Reviews is the episode.
I think the episode had like a it was like a one shot for like 18 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
At some point. And again, like talking about the chaos, I've never seen a show that's able to put chaos in such a bottle and express it to us in a way that I feel like I will be reacting the same within that environment. I think also one thing that's superb, and I know we're going to talk about this a bit later, was just how great the characters were.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, most of the characters from the very first season, I liked them right away.
Real.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't feel like it was a written script. They were just real people.
Yeah.
I agree.
Completely agree. And I think that's the biggest selling point for me, anyways, from the Bears, that these characters feel honest. They feel like real people rather than I'm watching people acting.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing. I feel like a fly in the wall at a restaurant. When I look at season 1.
I think that's the point towards Chris's magic of like through that season it felt very much like a Shafty brother film in terms of like people would talk over each other.
Yeah.
There was no like it didn't feel like a choreographed of like I say one sentence, you say one sentence. And I think that comes from his background of like being inside the chef experience. Of course, they was even shooting. I think season 1 was
yeah,
only
it was
season,
shot. It was mainly shot in the beef,
Yeah,
Mr.
season
Beef.
1.
But then like the outside shots was somewhere else, but everywhere else was Mr. Beef.
Yeah, so like being forced to be in those environments and like having like even the owner giving pointers about what to do, I guess added into the magic of it. But yeah,
he used to work there for a bit. I think he worked there when he was like 19 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his family. I don't know if he's a family friend or he's just friends.
Kindergarten friends. They've been friends since teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny.
Oh, fair, yeah. What about you, Maz? There's a new episode that's spoke to you in season
No, I
1.
think ultimately that first season just sold me. Reviews 100% more now than ever before. Now that I've gone back into hospitality, because when you're on the pass and the tickets are flowing, bro, there is no way you can express that kind of stress. And that like episode explored it so well. I hate being at the pass. I'm good at it, but I hate it. I wouldn't recommend it to a worst enemy.
Definitely. And I feel like it did a really good job of capturing all of that. And then I guess what happened is season 1 became successful. The higher ups at FX were like really pleased and always kind of shocked by its success and say, yo, let's do this again. I think the original plan was for Chris to do 4 seasons. He wanted to do 4 seasons. That was the main plan for him. So when he got the green light to do season 2, and this time he's got a bigger budget, he went crazy with it. And
they rebuilt the whole Mr. Beef in a studio space this time, so they were able to have a bit more, but it didn't feel like it. It still felt authentic, because when you're in a kitchen or anywhere in hospitality, there is no space. You are stepping on each other's toes. And we see that with the relationship between Syndey and Richie. You're a fucking loser, Richie. You see that a lot more. And so for them to have been able to replicate that kitchen, just so then they can also still get those shots a bit more and not have to feel like they're overstepping in the actual Mr. Beef space, because it is actually a very popular spot in Chicago. Was amazing.
I think they really try to they even planted cameras in certain spots of that environment as well, so it can create some of a echo chamber where like they can do everything they need to do, but it can still be captured on camera. I think a lot of people kind of say season 2 is a lot of people's favorites because it probably has some of the better episodes or more so enjoyable episode, I would say. How do you guys feel about obviously with season 2 and any episodes kind of speak out to you?
I think there's a bunch of episodes that speak out to me. I think it's definitely my favorite season, especially when you got episodes like Forks, Fishes. I think Honeydew's in that season as well. I feel like we got quite a lot of episodes that about individual characters. In more ways than we had in any other season. And we also get like an episode like Fishes where we get essentially, I want to say necessarily the origin, but we get a better understanding of Carmy and his family dynamic and why he is the way he is and why his anxiety is set up the way that it is. And I think it's done a great job in us, I guess, building a understanding on the foundation of why these characters are the way they are, and then obviously Forks.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to Fish, because I rewatched the episode today and I was like, it kind of explained, for me, it felt like the reason why Carmy got into being a chef.
It was a survival instinct.
And like I feel like within the chef world and how intense it can be, I feel like it was somewhat of an environment that he was somewhat used to and maybe could have more control of and composed to being in his family environment.
Okay, hear me out. Because he was so well adapted to such stressful environments, potentially showing sociopathic traits. Potentially.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, especially because you see him jump from I'm stressed and I'm I'm not even reacting to anything, to then going to his the big kitchen where he got his Michelin star, and the way that chef used to treat him.
But I feel like always he probably adopted his behavior and kind of pushed it forward, like, okay, this is how we talk to people or react to people in a lot of ways. You spoke about Forks. I think a lot of people will say Forks is one of their favorite episodes. Of course, arguably people's most favorite character within the whole series, Richie itself, will probably have the best character development, which we can get into when we talk about characters. But like the episode as a whole, I think that was a huge shift for people to go, you know what, Richie probably is somewhat likable, and we can actually enjoy and see what he's all about. Is there any other episodes that we want to touch on in terms of season 2?
I think those two for me really stood out.
Yeah.
There was the episode that was directed by Ayo Napkins, which was talking about Tina as well, right?
Oh yeah, I think that's.
And it was giving like that was season 3.
Oh no, I think that's season 4. Is it season 4? Are you talking about Napkins? Which episode?
Did I jump a bit? My bad.
Yeah, Napkins season 3.
My bad.
Is that the episode where you focus on Tina?
Yeah.
That's
season 3. For me, Forks and Fishes stole the show, and then season 3, Napkins.
Yeah. Let's talk about, because after season 2, I think not only did it become a mainstream success, but then it became somewhat of like, this is where the awards came in, and then it started to grow. Essentially 3 or 4, maybe even 5 movie stars within that series.
Yeah.
I think it's stated on here that I think The Bear has won over 17 Emmys from the performances from back to back from season 2 to season from season 1 and season 2, and a bit of season 3 is where they really capitulated and made a bunch of awards, and I think that's when they came like essentially movie stars in their own right, I think.
And mind you, it's got like 57 nominations in total.
Yeah, that's when they were dominating like
but like no,
crazy.
not even, that's like to date.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. We're only talking about season 1 and 2, but 57 nominations to date over 5 seasons.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I would like to say it is impressive that they did 5 seasons. Like essentially, we've got a bear every year, which is quite hard to do. And I guess we'll talk about how they did it and how maybe that was a positive and a negative in a lot of ways. But just touching on the Emmys, some of the biggest questions we have with the Emmys, of course, with The Bear, and it happens year after year. It's the same question asked: is The Bear a comedy? It's always been added into the comedy categories time after time, and time after time they win. Yeah. So, what are our thoughts? Is The Bear a comedy?
So, I can see why someone can put it in the dark comedy section, or still falls into.
But as an entirety, rather than
I think it's definitely more of a drama than it is a comedy.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily too mad. Maybe this is a bias because I like The Bear. Like, get your thoughts.
You know, I was like that for like, I think season 1 and 2. I think the only reason I shift my thoughts on it is because it's like, I think they do it in music as well, where it's like you put yourself in this category because you know you have bigger chances of winning, because you put yourself in a drama. Then I guess you're going against Secession and like House of the Dragons or whatever HBO show that they have out at that time. So when it came to like season 2, I was like, okay, they won the awards. But now it's season 3. Let's go back, because now you're. Like at the time, I think there was a show called Barry that I really enjoyed. That was getting a bunch of Emmy awards, and I think it fell the same fate as like Better Call Saul, where it's like they got nominated for everything, but never won anything during their run. So that was my only gripe that I had with the show. But I do agree. I think it's definitely a dark comedy, but it's a dark comedy that definitely means a lot more on its dark side than its comedy side.
I mean, it's not obviously. This isn't the place to be doing a comparison, but just to give an understanding, it's not the same type of dark comedy as Widow's Bay, but you can see it, and more so as you see it as an entirety, as a body, rather than each individual season.
Yeah.
Because then you start to you go through it and you start to realize, oh my god, she's just being really sarky and witty the whole time, and this is like unnecessary, but as you watch it in each individual season, you don't pick it up as much.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the way it's nuanced as a show. But we are seeing a huge rise in terms of like award seasons being very strategic in how they categorize TV shows in order to just win.
Yeah.
But the big one that we're kind of seeing is the only nomination that we got in the last season for season 5 is Ayo, who has been nominated every single season. How do we feel about that?
I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved for her to get nominated. Well, I liked other actors to get like a little shine. I think Lionel, is it Lionel? I feel like I don't know if he's been nominated before, but it'd be nice to see him get a shine. I feel like, especially for season 5, he kind of shined through a lot more than past seasons.
I think for Lionel it'll be quite difficult because he'll be like supporting male actor.
And then you're now competing with
Ebon. So I think that'll be the difficulty of it. And I think like for the most part, most people probably say that Ebon has been the better performer.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna
do a campaign,
but with that being said, Lionel's progression from Lawyer Squad to this has been crazy, bro.
We need to do like a documentary on the prospects of everyone involved in Odd Future and see how each them actually embodied it.
I will never forget the skit. So you're gonna give me a birthday gift on my birthday? Bitch. That is my favorite skit. And Lionel in that was just so hilarious. So to see that jump to this and see how much of a serious actor he is, and then be in Project Hail Mary, and like, I'm so excited to see how further his career goes. But this isn't just him. Every single actor in the show has had a moment to shine, and it's because of the way it's been written.
Yeah. Touching on the characters as individuals, should we go for each one? Should we talk about essentially probably the main star, Carmy himself, played by Jeremy Allen White? It's very interesting, Carmy, because he's not so much of a likable protagonist. Like for me, anyway.
You're rooting for him.
Like he's a protagonist that has a lot of problems. It's probably could be argued the least likable person in the show.
Could he be the antagonist at the same time? Could he?
I guess so, in terms of like stopping the progress of other people in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the least likable.
Yeah.
Definitely the least likable.
Which is interesting because like right at the beginning when the script was given to Jeremy Allen White, he was kind of relating to Carmy because Shameless had just finished.
Yeah.
He was like, I have all this talent, but I don't know what to do with it now, and it feels like I'm at a big stopping point. And that's why he related to Carmy so much.
Yeah. I remember him saying it was kind of not a risk, but because Lip from Shameless and Carmy are similar in terms of being involved in a very chaotic family, he was kind of very skeptical about doing that again. Shameless was 13 seasons to now jump in another show to do it.
It was that long?
Yeah, which is rare for a TV show at the time.
It's again like the UK and the US version. It outlonged its UK predecessor. Blood clot words.
Yeah. So it is interesting that he went with the role. I think he found another element to go with that character because Carmy and Lip are very different in a lot of ways. Like for me, I feel like Carmy, he lacks so much personality. He only works with a polar opposite personality. Someone like a Richie that he bounce off of him. Like it's hard for me to appreciate Carmy without another element there.
But I think that was by default because if we remember in the first season where he's in therapy, it's kind of like, I don't really have anything. I don't really do anything. I'm really shy. I used to have a stutter. And even then when he was seeing my girl, she was like, what do you do for fun? And he was like, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
He's a loser.
Not he's a loser. I just don't think he's ever had a chance to... he just hasn't.
No, because he was the only one that didn't have friends or like a social life.
He's just never had a chance to like
social engagement.
Find himself, because as soon as he used getting into the kitchen as a survival instinct to get out the house, and that just became his life because it was a means of survival. So now he's kind of realizing I need to be a person, not just survive.
Yeah. Going off of Carmy, we have, of course, Richie. We just mentioned Richie being some of the favorite characters. I think for me, probably has some of the best character development.
I think he has the best art.
We have said this.
Yeah.
Shout cousin.
What are the thoughts of Ricky? No, because I've rewatched it now. I forgot how of an arsehole Richie
he was a bum.
He was
Jarring.
He was rude.
When Syndey stabbed him,
offensive.
when Syndey stabbed him, I was like, yeah.
His driving license was suspended, but he was still driving.
Yeah.
He was a bum.
Yeah, he was a fucking loser.
He had a gun.
Yeah.
Wasn't he doing drug deals outside the shop?
Yeah.
Man.
He was in the madness. He was definitely
Mind you,
a
he was
knucklehead.
still a baby dad at the beginning.
Yeah.
He had a grown daughter at the beginning of that season.
Yeah, he was a loose cannon for sure. I even watched the little short film where they did I think it was Gary. I think they did like a little short project where they did a special where they had Gary and where they had Richie and obviously Michael. They did like a road trip, and it just reminded me how much of this guy. Richie's interesting because he always had the skill set. He just didn't know what to do with it. Like even episode, I think it was Fishes, where he's explaining when he's trying to get a job from the uncle. Was like, I need a job because my partner's about to get pregnant. I don't want to be making.
What's it? He had
for the rest of my life.
transactional skills. He just didn't know how to use them
Yeah,
properly.
he was literally saying to an uncle like, I have people skills, but I don't know what I can do with that. And I was like, somewhat of a seed of like someone that has something there, but he doesn't know where it can go. And I guess, thankfully enough, with season 2, he found where he could place that into and use it as something incredible.
Which is interesting as well, because I can't remember exactly who I saw this, but I saw an interview where it was saying people who work in hospitality have the best transactional skills to work in any field.
Yeah.
And we really see that with Richie's arc of being this person who just kind of was loitering about, telling people what to do and all of this stuff, to essentially being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that's why Forks works so well. Because I think it's I don't know if it was the beginning of Forks or the beginning of the episode before that, when Richie's in the basement with Carmy saying, I feel like I don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
And then obviously we get Forks where he finally finds his purpose. He had these skills and his capabilities. He just didn't have a purpose to use them for. Which I think is like the brilliance of the arc. That we finally see somebody that had all this energy, had all this love, all these feelings. He just didn't know where to put it and why to put it in these places. And then when we get to Forks, he finally knows where to put this energy in.
And then he starts like really using these skills to fully develop himself as a person. And it was like such a beautiful thing because it didn't feel tacky or like out of the way. You just saw a genuine person willing to be like, okay, like I want to be better for myself. And then we have, was the episode where the family are all under the table and he's like, the bears, and you just see everyone together and you just think, damn, like this was this person from season 1.
Yeah.
And then you have Goodbye.
Yeah, Goodbye is a really good episode.
Great arc.
Is it fair to say that Richie is the best character or somewhat the heart of the show?
I wouldn't call it. I think Carmy's still the heart of the show because I feel like his feelings kind of dictate how everybody else feels or wherever the show goes. Apart from this season, I would say. I feel like there was more like.
No, but even then, like, my thing is, even when Carmy feels like he's not doing anything, he's doing enough. When Richie got stressed in the fridge and he made the joke of being like, we're locked in, just him making that joke changed the mood so quickly. And I think that while Carmy's not necessarily the protagonist, I think he is the antagonist in my eyes. I don't know who the protagonist is. I feel like it could be individually everyone. He has a huge ploy in the plot.
Yeah. Well, we do have someone that could potentially be the protagonist. We do have Syndey herself, played by Ayo. Somewhat of she plays like the newcomer. In a lot of ways, she plays the audience walking into the terror of what is the bear. Well, what the bear was just like a melting pot of just like chaos and and shouting. Obviously, she came in because she was inspired by Carmy. Saw articles about him working at one of the best restaurants in the world, and she wanted to be an understudy to come in. She came in and she kind of not took over, but like she really infused herself within the world. But like through the seasons, and I guess we will talk about it when it comes to season 3 and 4, but like she wants to get the hell out of there.
100%, especially in Worms.
Yeah, definitely. So like, how do we feel about Syndey's role when it comes to the bear?
I think that Syndey is the bear, and that's only because Carmy said that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you are the bear. This building wouldn't have been the same as it is. As soon as you walked in the building, everything shifted, which it literally did.
Yeah.
And he asked her, do you want a star, for a Michelin star? She said, yeah. She got 2.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have pushed it so far if she didn't want it.
Yeah.
And that's why, probably because a lot of people do that weird I ship Carmy and Syndey vibe, because of the way I hear it.
I hate it.
I hear it, but also I don't want it, because I appreciate the relationship as what I see it as. It doesn't have to be anything more, but it doesn't have to be anything less. It just is what it is.
I think, just touching on that, I think we'll talk about it more in detail when it comes to like the final season, but like the relationship between Carmy and Syndey, I think why people always speculated that they will be together is because of old tropes in TV shows, where it's like, it's always like, will they or won't they, which I think is like the laziest form of writing to me when it comes to TV shows. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Okay. And then I think also when it comes to ultimately getting it, yes, she's the protagonist, but the 2 stars happened because she was so... What we're seeing between Carmy and Syndey is the passing of the baton. The student becomes the master, and the master becomes the student once again. Because Syndey inspired the scallops dish, which got the review, which got the 2 stars. And then from that, we get Syndey becoming the main chef, the head chef, and Carmy becoming his sous, and he finds the ingredients in the pantry, and then suddenly he's inspired again.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting to see, and so in many ways, I think she is.
Yeah. Going through, we're going to talk about some of the other characters. We have Tina listed on here, which I think is
best CDC in the world.
She's not an underrated character, but I don't know if she's spoken about as much as the others. Of course, was it Napkins was the one that was like the sole episode we got a lot about her. But I think her character, for me anyway, really dove into the sense of like the working class and like the financial stuff of like doing a job like this and trying to like provide for your family. Because I think her storyline was a lot with her husband that just recently lost his job, I believe, and then trying to figure out how we're going to pay these bills with the kids. So I feel like she really dove into how it is trying to provide while working in the cooking environment. How did you guys find Tina in the series?
I absolutely love her. She's definitely one of my favorite characters. I think myself is included, talk about Richie's arc quite often. I think Tina had a brilliant arc as well, especially how she was in the first episode when she first meets Carmy, how cold she was towards him. And she didn't necessarily know a great deal in terms of being a professional a chef. We see the progress that she has working with Syndey and working with Carmy. And one of my favorite things throughout the whole show that also highlights her change in manner, or her change in her belief in Carmy, is that she went from saying yes chef, to yes chef, to now calling him Jeffrey. And I felt like that's such brilliant writing, just showcase the progress, the relationship and the progress of her as a character. But yeah, I think Tina's a wonderful character, and she has a great sort of episode in Napkins, and she like becomes the mother of the group, especially towards the end.
Ebes.
Ebes.
That's why Sorry, go ahead.
So there's even one scene when in this season when Carmy and Richie are in the freezer, and Richie's having like anxiety attack, and then Carmy's trying to calm him down, and then Richie's like, you can't do this, go get Tina instead.
Yeah.
And I feel like this kind of highlights how all of them view Tina as well. So
yeah.
I've got a lot to say about Tina. I think Tina is such an inspiration in terms of like, there's always this idea as womanhood, like you get to a point where you think, oh, like I'm too old to be doing this. And Tina feels like she's restarting again. And from the jump, when we see the first season, she just doesn't care as much. It's just a job that pays the bill. And then like you kind of start to see her being re-inspired and being like, yeah, I'm starting from the beginning again, but I'm having fun and I'm learning so much. And you start to really see her lean into it. And there was a quote by the actress, and I'm not going to do a verbatim, I'm sorry, because I couldn't find the exact quote, but she essentially said that this role kind of gave her hope again for her acting experience. And to take that on and see the power of that character was amazing, more so in Napkins, because there's a rare moment we ever get in any type of scripting where we're seeing a middle-aged woman willing to lean herself in to relearn again and just start from the jump, and it's got nothing to do with love, but like for another person or a man, but for herself. And it was just so beautifully written and directed, and you just really see her like fall in love with working in the kitchen again and really appreciate her work.
Yeah, that's what I said. I couldn't say better myself. Should we just talk about Marcus?
Yes.
My black king.
Another character that really grew within the series. Well, I guess almost every character really developed. He really got into his arc of like baking, maybe too much. Obviously,
Season one.
Season 1. No, but seriously
But
though.
Carmy flipped
No, but seriously though.
No. Carmy was right for that.
Marcus was wrong for that though.
No, 100%.
He was
Carmy had
wrong.
every right to flip out anymore.
He was making a whole donut while we have a backlog of like so much orders. He didn't fix any of. I was angry for Carmy in that moment.
No, he fixated too much. He fixated
and I think
too much.
that's how he's kind of been throughout
But
the season.
I'm not gonna lie, he gives ADHD.
Marcus.
A little bit. He gives he has some form of OCD in terms of like he's definitely a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I think he always strives to like, I'm just gonna focus on this task and this task only.
And that's why he hoarded the spoons in the last season.
Oh yeah. He was going crazy. He was going crazy.
But
did we get any growth with Marcus in terms of personality, or did he just get better at his job?
Definitely with personality. And I think him getting better at his job was kind of interlinked with his personality as well, or him just becoming a better person.
Yeah. It gave him confidence.
Yeah, definitely, because he was quite shy and nervous, and I think he was always willing to ask questions with Carmy at the beginning. But I feel like towards the end, when you see his interaction with Luca, you see how much more confident he was in terms of like
he was telling Luca
what to do. Yeah, exactly. So I think those two are kind of interlinked. But I can't lie to you, Marcus was jarring me this season. He was actually really annoying.
No, but he was having the daddy issues conversation, and I think that goes back to first season Marcus, where he was still showing that while he's progressed, he still has his insecurities, and he was still trying to prove himself. And like Lucas said, you don't have to prove yourself; just be yourself, because there's a reason why you've got this award. Bless him. I think it's because now this is the only parent he has. His dad has kind of been absent, so he feels like he needs to kind of prove himself when it's actually the other way around. And we finally get him saying, okay, like, you need to prove your relationship with me because I've gone out of my way to do this.
Yeah, when he refuses to give him a hug.
That was really, I really enjoyed that scene. Is there any other characters that you want to shout out on here before we move on to?
Do you know, I can't even remember his name. Like, to be fair, all the characters.
What, Facts?
No, not the Facts. The guy that does the wine.
Let me see if I can find his name.
Yeah. Because
he has just the smallest parts, but you also see the growth in him.
Sweeps. Yeah, Sweeps. I thought his development was
really
incredible.
Good. Did you see a baseball player in the show and then something happened?
Yeah.
I'm making it up. He didn't do
that.
Yeah,
and then didn't he also used to do drugs as well or something like
that?
He used to sell drugs.
I feel like there's a lot of depth in this character. Yeah. It's kind of like in the background.
It's just like in the background, and it's so small. We get like little sprinklings.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. There's obviously the scene of him, obviously he went to learn about wines and wine tasting. And then the scene of him tasting the wine to make sure it was the right one.
Was it 99 or 97?
97. Yeah. 97 versus 95.
Oh, so scared for him.
Yeah, and then he gets it right. And then he goes outside and he starts fist bumping. I was fist bumping.
Yeah, I was happy.
I started applauding as well. Yeah. Like, and I feel like I do that a lot with this show because I'm so involved with these characters as if they're my own friends.
Yeah. I think because what Chris has done brilliantly is like he made these characters real. Yeah. So you're seeing these people like you're eventually like, even though it's a TV show, you're kind of looking at it more of like these are just human beings that are like trying to find their way. And what was brilliant from season 1 all the way to season 5 is like we're fully growing with them throughout the seasons as if they're like our cousin or our best friend that we're meeting every like year or so and just getting like update of their life. So it was really, I feel like he's one of the smaller characters that developed in a big way, and I think the show did a great job of like, even though we have bigger like personas within it, he always had his little moments as well that always got interjected in between. So yeah, it's definitely a character.
I'm not gonna lie, the Facts didn't actually develop.
I know. So I don't think they needed, as in character development, I don't think they really needed that. I feel like for the most part, the facts are comedic relief.
Yeah.
I think that's what they are. And I think that was the purpose throughout the show. But we did get like the scene with Fact in terms of like him interacting with the guests.
Also, like this is like a chain, but it has all my family members' names.
I thought that scene was adorable.
Yeah, I was so nervous though. He was like,
Yo,
first of all, don't be standing there.
Yes,
I don't know what you're about to do right now. Then he became this.
Why Richie was so stressed.
Yeah, he became like this soft, like, I don't know, Barney or teddy bear of like, just this and just that. I'm like, oh my days. But yeah, I think like you said, like they are the comedy relief, and I think in a lot of ways, without them, I don't know if it's too much of a comedy. Once they're out of it, it
becomes a bit too dark.
But I think also like Syndey says some stuff.
Yeah.
And like everyone says, like
they have some one-liners.
Everyone forgets how many one-liners she has.
She has some
but the funniest scene that I feel like we had this season was when she was interacting with the facts. When the Fanny's fixed the plumbing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, bitch.
Yeah, and cussing them out.
I love that scene. Yeah.
And I think that's where they come best in handy when they need a little bit of a breather with all the tense stuff, and they come in to like smooth it out. It's like, okay, let's get a 5 minute break.
They do what they need to do for pacing.
Yeah.
They're pacing based characters.
Definitely. Is any other characters?
Ebs.
Who's Ebs again? Sorry.
Ebra.
Who?
Ebra. Yeah.
Oh, the sister.
No.
Who's that?
The guy that does the franchise.
Does the franchise?
Uncle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uncle. That's not my uncle.
No, I call him Ebs because like we're cool like that.
How do you feel about him?
I loved him.
I really like him. I do kind of wish we got a little bit. I think the season when we got Napkins, I was kind of hoping that he got his own episode as well.
Yeah,
he's one of the
because
few characters that didn't.
he was at the culinary school with Tina,
then
and
he dropped out.
Yeah, but then he found his way with
the beef.
No. What was the guy that he was on the he was learning from? What's his name?
I want to say something like Adrian, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, the guy who's also the director of The Princess Bride, and that relationship really helped him cultivate understanding who he is. He's a very business-minded, logistical operator, and it worked really well for him. And then you also kind of see, because he's so logistic-based, the relationship he has with the CDC, or now CDC, Tina. And there's loads of edits, if you really go on TikTok and stuff, where you see them just kind of being like mum and dad, playing each other. Yeah. And she calls him an old lady, he calls her an old man, and it's like really cute. And that dynamic is what you actually see in kitchens. Everyone is genuinely a family. Yes, we shout at each other, oh, the order's messed up, you didn't tell me how many orders this was, or to like stub out the ticket or whatever. But it's very genuine. And so we always have to have the one person that is logistics based and needs to be the thinker. And so to see him being finally able to kind of pitch it, and then at that point Carmy's like, it didn't matter, because he was so quiet and shy, to like having the confidence of doing that. I will not be intimidated by your blue eyes. It was just really nice to see. But then also for me in the last season was the homage to the guy who also helped him get this confidence, where he's on the phone to him and he says, "As you wish," because he is the director of The Princess Bride. Now, that's one of my favorite films, and yes, I did cry. It was just a nice moment, and it wasn't tacky like Euphoria, because you didn't have someone else's voice on the other side. It was just one-sided, but you understood the conversation.
Like, if you knew, you know, type of thing. Like,
it was just a one-sided conversation, but you understood what he was saying on the other side without having to fake another person's voice.
Yeah. And any other last characters we want to brush on? Do we care about the uncle? What's his name? Uncle Jimmy?
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy.
Wait, he asked to date the mum.
Do you think he wanted, bruv, he was giving red eyes ever since his brother was with her. His brother that was with it. Yeah, he didn't have much of a development.
But
he was just more of an anchor
doesn't he
for
have
the
a
narrative.
wife?
I don't think so. I don't think he's whatever wife he had or did not have, like, it
Divorce.
was never mentioned throughout the season.
Divorce.
He was more of a character to just push narrative. Obviously, we needed someone that had funds to help, like, push out the business and whatnot.
Nat.
Who's Nat again?
The sister.
Oh, we didn't talk about Nat, did we?
Sugar, shout out Sugar, man.
How do we feel about Nat Sugar?
She ate it because what we're seeing is her kind of, she's starting to show the nervous tendencies of her mother in this season because she's had the kid, and she starts to basically become their mum so bad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So bad. But then because of the relationship she's cultivated with everyone else, her husband, she's got this solid foundation that she's starting to like push past that trauma and really heal as a person.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing we're seeing in season 5 is that all the characters are healing, including Carmy.
Yeah.
And it was just such a beautiful thing where it's not like everyone is regressing, because I think that's one thing that is an easy writing hack where everyone just regresses and goes into crap and that's how it ends because it makes the best way for viewing. But to see people heal and in such a slow but soft way, it's so nice to see. And more so with Sugar/Nat. You also see that she has this really beautiful and loving relationship with her husband, and he's so supportive and caring of not just her but the restaurant too.
Yeah. He's definitely been.
I find it so funny how people, everyone cheats her husband though. I find it so funny how everybody cheats her husband though.
Yeah. They treat him like he's some next waste man.
He's
like, bro, he's the lawyer that's gonna help this actually be a business.
But he does everything. He does everything. Bro, it's when the fact that he cheated while he was supposed to be crushing boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
she needed that.
I mean,
she
had a pep in her step when she came back in, you know.
Really needed that.
She needed to de-stress real quick, man.
Speaking of people that probably potentially cheated, one of the characters that I didn't like the most is Claire, the love interest that came through in season 3.
So I like Claire.
But she did what she needed to do for Carmy.
I think the way that she was written in the first season she was in, which was season 2, right?
Was she in season 2? I know she was in flashbacks. She was in Fishes. I think she got. No, she wasn't in Fishes.
No, she wasn't.
I think she appeared in season 3.
Was that the first? No.
Because
he first saw her in the hospital, right?
I'm sure it's season 2.
I wonder if I can.
I feel like season 3 seems too far because there's a season where they were dating, a season where she wasn't in, then a season where they're reconciled. Yeah, it must have been season 2.
You keep explaining,
but
I'll find out.
So I feel like the way she was written when she was first introduced wasn't written well at all. I just didn't buy the love interest. I didn't feel no chemistry between the two of them. I feel like in season 4, when they had the conversation by the steps, and now we've had a better understanding of who Carmy is, and now we even get a better understanding of who Claire is. I then like the character a bit more because I got to know her a bit more. But I think when she was first introduced, I didn't care for her in the first season she was in.
But I think also
just to add, she appeared in the season finale of season 2, episode 10.
Is that when they met each other in the?
Yeah, they met itself in the grocery store.
Also, yeah.
I think that she was a good catalyst in making Carmy realize he needs a life outside of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that made him realize he needs to find a better way of speaking to people. He doesn't really have a life outside of things. Mind you, she's a doctor and she has a life.
Yeah. I guess that kind of leads us to which people will call the dip, or where some people probably jumped shift when it came to the Bear, and that's season 3 and season 4. Of course, the success of season 2 and the amount of awards they won, a lot of the actors became movie stars. Obviously, Ayo started popping in movies. Jeremy Allen White started popping in a few movies. One of the what's his name? He popped in Fantastic Four.
Ebon.
So they all start becoming very successful, which I feel like the Bear kind of suffered from its own success in a lot of ways, because now the schedules became so tight that they had to deal with scheduling in terms of getting these actors all in the room at the same time. So when it came to production, they had to shoot season 3 and half of season 4 within the same year during production. So, which meant that they had to rush through shooting, had to rush through with writing. Like I said, I think Chris's idea was to have 4 seasons as a whole. I think that kind of changed because of the pressures of getting both of those seasons done within a small time frame, which in a weird way, it led to some form of positivity because of that, we had the episode with Sugar with the mother. I don't think we get the episodes if the actors or the main actors were available. But I guess the question or the debate we can have now is kind of like, what are our thoughts of season 3 and 4? Do we like them and how they compare to the others?
I like them quite a lot. Season 3 is probably my least favorite season of the show, but I enjoy it because season 3 also has napkins.
Yeah,
it has ice ships. It has tomorrow, and I think the opening it wasn't a monologue, but the opening scene from the first episode of the first season, I love it. I think that's one of my favorite opening scenes from TV shows, anyways, because it was so chaotic, but in such a structured way. Another thing, the whole scene, the whole episode was weird. And the one thing that I do love about the Bear and TV show in general, they take risks, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with you guys already having this level of success, but instead of like doing this thing where you try to repeat what you've done in the past that's done well, you are trying to take a risk and push things to the limit. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. But I have so much appreciation for just artists that do that, whether it be film, TV, or any other medium. And I liked it. I also liked Napkins quite a lot. I liked that Ayo directed it, and she did what she did with it with Tina's performance. And even I'm not to jump to season 5, but if we're talking about like a shift in kind of shifting genre or theme, a shift in aesthetics and in the feel, season 5 is nothing like the rest of the seasons.
Oh
either.
yeah.
So they continue to shift.
But it wouldn't have happened if season 3 and season 4 didn't have that player around. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you keep working on these things. So I like the seasons. I think on a rewatch it'll feel even better. But yeah, I was completely fine with that.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed season 3. I think season 4 for me feels like a blur. I can't really remember what happened in season 4. I feel like there was for me it feels like it was a jump between that season.
I beg to differ.
I think season 4 had some 1 or 2 great episodes that I enjoyed, but for the most part I didn't really connect to the show as much when it came to season 4.
I think season 4 might be the second best season. Now that I relook at the list.
Oh really?
Like we have Worms, the episode where
I was literally just gonna say that.
you love the episode. The episode we have
Ayo.
Syndey, yeah. What could I?
That was a great episode because we touched on microaggressions.
But it was also her Ayo directed Worms as well.
Did she that one as well?
Yeah, she directed.
Okay, sick.
Well, she at least wrote it along with Lionel.
Yeah, I think she wrote. I don't think she directed.
Yeah,
Worms.
but okay. Yeah, but either way, she had a huge input into it, and for me, it touched on things that you've never really seen on the experience of Black womanhood on TV. I'm sorry, I can't come over. I'm getting my hair done. Yeah. Oh, okay, but you can come in an hour?
Yeah.
No, I've blocked off the whole day. I'm so sorry, I can't see. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and even just like the act of like because you're Black, they assume that you want to hear hip hop music. When she was entering the warehouse and they start playing some play some classic. She wants to play some classic music. I want to hear some of that. That's my type of vibe. And I agree. I feel like that episode was a outliner for me. I don't really see any episode that. What episodes?
So even like Scallops, where I think the episode starts off with the like purple hue in the background, and all we see is just Ayo Syndey cooking. And we spend like a good 4, 5, or 6 minutes, however long it is, just watching her cook. I feel like that was directed really well. We get a scene with Carmy and Richie with the blue tints in the background, where we get the shot of them two sitting inside the restaurant towards the end.
So the main thing I'm getting from this is that you really appreciated the cinematography.
The directing was, I think the directing was superb. But even outside of that, like for example, the episode Bears. Yeah. That we get them at, was it a wedding?
Yeah.
A wedding.
It was at Richie's ex's wedding.
Yeah. And when them all underneath the table, and
that was really good.
Trying to get the little girl to come out because she was scared or something.
The first dance with her new stepdad.
Yeah. It's like, oh, so what are you guys scared of? I thought that was like a really good episode for the people to get to know each other and get closer. I think Goodbye is one of the best written episodes.
For one scene.
I feel like that scene feels like a stage play.
It could be it could have been theatre. Yeah. I think season 4 is superb. I think it's a really, really good season. And I think it's a season that took the most risks in terms of how they tried to showcase this particular story.
And I think at the time it was during post-writers' strikes, everyone was kind of playing really safe in terms of how to do narratives. And so to see this and be able to like really play around with each episode, it was needed. Yeah. Industry-wise, it was needed.
I think Chris I think when he changed the script on it. He wrote it. I think they shot some of it already, but then he realized that he didn't like how it was ending. I think it was a different end when it came to the final season. I think it was it's a goodbye season finale of season 4. So he rewrote it. That's why I think we got just 3 of them in, because that episode is literally just them at the back of the bear. So I feel like that felt like a rewrite. I think it was a good risk. I think, like you said, it's probably one of the most powerful episodes of the whole show, because it shows the dynamic of each one of them and shows where they've been and where they've come to.
But it also shows their relationship with each other, because that is the episode we start to realize, oh my God, Syndey and Richie actually do like each other.
Yeah.
And then like you've got the last episode in season 5 where they're like literally like siblings, and then you're like, oh, they've always liked each other.
Yeah, they're just
it was just playing around.
I mean, I guess that brings us to the final season. Before we go and talk about the crust of final season, and we can talk about it as a whole of the ins and outs of it. I feel like this season, this final one, I feel like a lot of people jump ship. I don't know if as many people watch this season as compared to the others. I'm not sure if after the effects of like season 4, and just going back when it came to season 4 of The Bear, that was the first season, maybe potentially we'll see in the future, the only season that didn't win any awards in terms of notoriety, in terms of like the Emmys. It got nominated but didn't win anything. I think it was the first time none of the main actors even appeared to the award show. So I guess that was kind of showing of like, not as a whole, but a lot of audience members and even like critics kind of like walking away. So when it came to the final season, I think a lot of people were skeptical, or even was thinking, I think the main argument was that people were thinking like season 4 should have been the farewell opposed to this season. Of course, season 5 is set on one day. This is probably like the biggest, most craziest day ever, where essentially what could go wrong went wrong that episode.
But every second literally counted.
Everything literally counts for real. It starts with like obviously I didn't know, well, I should have known, Chicago has horrible weather. It's probably the rainiest, darkest day for them. Maybe probably one of the darkest seasons for them, just in terms of tone. Like it was pretty intense. How did you guys feel about not just the season but leading up to it?
So I wanted to see it through. I think that there was this idea that people were like, I'm gonna drop out, I'm not gonna watch it. I've actually had conversations with people after watching it where I've had to convince them. I'm like, no, it's really good. I was skeptical in the sense, like I've said 1,000 times on and off camera, it would be like Lost, where the writing went really, really well, and then by the end it just falls off and you're disappointed and heartbroken.
Yeah.
But annoyingly, because of this job and how my search is, I already knew that it was going to be a shot in one day, and over the whole season, that got me excited. That narrative, that idea, that play on it made me excited, because I remembered, oh, they literally only have enough money for one day anyway. So it made season 4 make sense as well.
Yeah.
And it made me realize how well thought out this season was. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to lean into it. If I need to binge watch it, I will. Which I did, because some of you guys don't know how to behave on social media at all.
I had like 2 days I had to binge watch. I was really looking forward to the season. I was quite upset thinking about it, because I was kind of upset. I knew I was going to be upset when I ended it, because I really like these characters. I really do. I really enjoyed this season. Not what I expected in terms of tone, atmosphere. I was really surprised they decided to make the first 7 episodes based on one day.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant. This is something that I need to spend time and think about, but it might be like one of my favorite ways I've seen a show end.
Yeah.
In terms of, not necessarily like my favorite season of an ending of a show, but it's just like, it feels like we got closure for everything.
Yes.
Like, I think, especially episode 4, for like so many of the characters getting small wins, they kept getting wins. Because it's like, we don't need to see them suffer anymore. They all had the arcs, they've all experienced enough. Now we're seeing I guess they're bearing the fruits now. and I really enjoyed them.
They've planted the seeds and we're seeing the fruits. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it was really well put together, and I'm really surprised about the tone that they did it with, but I thought it was superb.
Same. Leading through, like I wanted to stick through for the show to the very end, even though I was quite bumpy when it came to season 4. I was like, you know what, I love the show. So
I think you need to rewatch season 4.
I probably will. You know what? Just touching on that, I feel like because the pacing and the tone kind of shifted for me in terms of it was a lot slower. I don't know if I felt like it was getting a repeat of season 3 in terms of narrative. It was more of like Syndey's annoyed with everyone and she wants to leave. I feel like it was getting that again. But I'm definitely gonna rewatch it again and see it with a different lens. But when it came to season 5, I was like, I'm happy. I think in past episodes of Outtake, when we spoke about season 4, I was saying that I want this show to end soon. I think we should get this show doesn't feel like something we should get 10 seasons of.
No, definitely.
We need to end on a why it's on a high. So I was very happy that it was coming to the final season. I love a show that recognizes, okay, like we've done everything we want to do.
You don't have to always make money.
Yeah, let's
exactly.
step away now and like finish things over. So I was really like proud for them even to make that type of move, because I can imagine the bigger higher ups will be like, yeah, let's keep this going. That being said, I'm sure we're gonna get some form of spin-offs at some point in a later date. So I was excited to watch it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I can't lie, I was kind of scared for it. Really? I feel like it took a while for it to start, and my fear kicked in because it's the final season, and I know they can potentially stick the landing, but how they're gonna stick the landing. And there was obviously bad taste in my mouth because that within this year we've had some bad final seasons. Looking at, of course, The Boyce, we've had like a horrible final season. I think there was another show as well that finished that wasn't great as well. But I think it was like just the end of that season of that show. But there was a lot of endings of shows that wasn't good. So I was like kind of skeptical, especially seeing the first 2, maybe potentially 3. I think for me, it was like when 4 hit and things were starting to crack up a little bit, I was like, okay, we were just trying to establish where we are right now and then push through. But I think this was, I also have to think about it as well, but this is probably one of the best season finales for a show I've seen ever, because it gave us enough answers for us to be okay with how it ended. In terms of like, for me, this looked like the worst scenario for them. And because they overcame it, I know now that they'll be fine. That they're going to be fine. Of course, there'll be some issues come through, but they went through the worst. And I witnessed that, and they overcame it. So they're all going to be good. Each individual character had their own arc. It came to somewhat of a close, or at least put a comma there of like, they've checked this off and now they got other stuff to do, but we've got enough from it. I think the only thing I have with this season where I feel like it didn't touch on enough, which is annoying because I feel like season 3 was its main topic, was what's her name? I can't remember her name now. Claire. Is it Claire? Not Claire. It's Claire. Like, obviously she was the love
She was in
interest.
the last episode as well.
Yeah.
She just randomly appeared.
She was just there.
I don't think we need. I think in season 4, we got confirmation that them two like each other. Carmy's changing. He's gonna find balance between them two, and I feel like that's enough to know that okay, them two are going to be good. I don't think I needed Claire at all in this season.
No, she's.
I feel like I needed at least some form of dialogue from her, or some form of conversation.
It's not the Claire show. I don't like her.
Yeah, but I feel like season 3 was the Claire show because she was so involved in the show.
But
like, if she's so involved in that season, why not have her added just a little bit in season 5 to be like, okay.
Because I think they did the right thing in season 4 when they introduced her a little bit in season 4 and they got the conclusion between her and Carmy. I don't think there's much story to tell between them two. It would be nice to just have our characters there, but I don't think it was necessary. It would have added anything to the story.
You know what I think? I feel like people don't like that character, and the writers knew that, and they said let's
right off.
Because all was mentioned of her was Sugar saying, "Did you call her yet?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it in a minute."
But then also at the same time, you're seeing Carmy's mum being like, "So what's going on with those two?" They edged us, bro.
You know what?
I'm so glad you gave us that scene because
season was so self-aware.
They looked in the camera and said, "You guys are stupid."
Yeah.
Sorry, said, you guys are shipping them to a stupid. That's what they told us. I'm so glad they did that. When people were shipping them to, I was so annoyed. Stop this. Stop this.
I see it though.
No, I do not see it.
But I don't think they need to. They don't need to. In fact, I kind of ship her with my guy.
Ebon.
No.
my bad, the white guy in it.
Oh, Luca.
Luca, yeah.
I thought there was maybe something there.
Syndey and Luca made sense.
Yeah.
Syndey and Carmy, no way.
But I think that's why we didn't get Claire, or we didn't get that character as well involved, because I think with this season, the most important thing was the whole scope of like family and those main bear people.
Yeah.
So like we had to tackle the most important relationship they wanted to tackle was Carmy and Syndey's relationship, and like what does that look like? So obviously when they've got the 2 stars, obviously she's happy, she goes off into the dining area and she's just chilling there. Then Carmy comes out and gives her a hug. Yeah. I know a lot of audience members thought, oh, is this the moment where they do a thing? The show was like, haha, tricked y'all. They're friends. Yeah. They have this bond now. They have this respect for one another.
Bro, they're kind of passing friends.
The batons. Yeah. Very toxic relationship though.
Probably a toxic person, but he's changed now.
He's learning. Hopefully he's doing meditation and journaling.
We hope so. Speaking of the mother, when she makes the comments about are they together, people have suspicions. I feel like this season had a lot of those type of little jabs within there. Of course, we had the scene with the anniversary couple that comes into the kitchen.
Yes.
And they're saying all the quotes that people was always saying online. I feel like they played into the audience a lot of time. Yeah, it was like kind of a mockery of like, oh, this is what you guys love about the show. And I feel like the show, this felt like the original of The Bear in terms of the balance of like the comedy and the dark side of it, which I really enjoyed.
He really loved it, man. He was loving it in there.
But
Alan, I'm not gonna lie, I do that work. I do be like, yes, chef. To the actual chef.
It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of respect. Touching on the final season, how do we feel with it closing on each and every characters? Anything that you feel like was left out or
done a brilliant job?
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
Whatsoever, man.
I think I said it before, but I do feel if this season was either merged or replaced season 4, I think in terms of the overall landscape in terms of the audience, I think there'll be a different conversation about this show as a whole.
I just think people aren't patient enough, and it's because of the way it was distributed. And I did say this off camera to Manny, where it should have been linear. Linear watching would have maybe helped it a bit more, because binging made people pressurize into it, and so they didn't really appreciate the whole body of work. But if it was linear watching, everyone would have had their moments to discuss each episode weekly, kind of like what HBO do. And then there was like this sense of community and understanding what was going on. Yeah. Yes, the pacing was different, but people could dissect it still properly and still have this conversation. But because it was just binge watching, because there is the pressure of having to watch it before everyone starts dropping spoilers on X or TikTok or Instagram, or even a friend accidentally sending a meme, I am that friend. It changed the watching experience for people, and so people became less patient for the new styles. And I think it was good and healthy. We need this more in narratives and in writing, because otherwise we're just gonna be watching the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but I do think season 5 was probably the most bingeable season out of them all, just because of the way it was set up.
Yeah,
it's one of those seasons where it was probably impossible not to binge it because it was set within the day.
Yeah.
But I would have.
And it's short as well.
Yeah.
It was the shortest episodes out.
Because even the first episode was like just under 30 minutes. It was probably like 24 minutes or so.
26, I believe.
Yeah, so it was really like pushing through. So where do we rank this? The Bear is now over. It's finally been done. Obviously, we're still in early days. I think it's been not more than a month since the show's come to a close. But this show is part of the 2020s, part of this decade. Is there a show that we rate highly? Is there a top 10, top 5?
This is up there for me, along with Mad Men. And you know how much I love Mad Men.
Mad Men might be a different decade, though.
Yeah,
it's a different note, but I mean, for my watching.
Yeah.
It's up there along with Mad Men.
Oh, fair.
What else is dropped this decade? Do we count Succession as this decade?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let me type in the best TV shows of 2020.
Because I know it started like in 2018, 19.
I think Succession doesn't get much love in terms of.
I think Succession is the best show of this decade, though.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's the best show of this decade. I think The Bear will be somewhere in my top 5 if I'm keeping a buck. I can't remember what shows that I love that came out this decade. Like this House of Dragon, but I don't think that'll make my top 5. Pluribus,
Pluribus.
Severance.
No, Widow's Bay for me.
I've seen that.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
This
Severance, it might be up there at some point.
Severance, when Severance ends, it will definitely be on the list. I'm trying to find, these lists are long as hell.
I want to say Murderbot because I love a sci-fi. Manny said.
I think those ones are too early though. I think
but no,
I think
they're
ones
doing
that
another season,
coming to a close. Like let's think about the ones that have kind of either wrapped or close to wrapping.
Right.
So like Severance, Secession, I think House of Dragons may end up being on a list, seeing how these fans will be talking about it. Let me go to the top 5 that I have on this list.
I was gonna say another show, but that's not wrapping up until 2030.
We have Hacks.
What show?
Hacks is a
Knights
great
of
show.
the Seven Kingdoms.
I think Hacks.
That's like, first season was freaking fantastic. Oh my gosh, that is good TV. That is good TV, man. What's it been out this decade?
These lists are trash. They're
Bro.
not showing me.
Yeah, not a lot of stuff has been.
Maybe that's a good sign.
But also, but at the same
high.
time, a lot of stuff hasn't finished.
Yeah.
Like for example, the studio for me would be up there.
Oh,
as
studio,
well,
yeah.
but it hasn't finished.
Yeah.
Murderbot. So I'm just sounding like I'm doing an ad for Apple TV. Murderbot is there, but it hasn't
But
finished.
Apple TV, I've had the best TV shows.
They have for a
I've had the
very
best
long
TV
time.
shows.
For a very long time.
Like
I think
Shrinking is really good. I don't know if you guys watched
I've
it.
watched first season. I need to finish it.
Season 2 is even better.
Oh really?
Season 2 is
Yeah,
even better.
I heard it.
And I was even the one that said after season 1, it's like, we don't need any more seasons.
Yeah.
But season 2 is even better.
I'm gonna finish.
Shogun is really good.
I heard Shogun.
Yeah.
Shogun's really good. There's definitely other stuff. But I don't know what's not coming to me.
It's just they haven't finished.
Yeah, but
so it's hard to really say, oh, it's like up there.
Yeah.
And we're only like midway, 2026. We're just going into the late 20s. So we need to see the recap in 2020.
I think it'll be safe to say it will at least be in top 20. For sure.
At least top 10.
Top 10 for sure.
At least top 10. And that's me being nice. At least top 10, man. I think right now the only show that I'll say is definitely better than The Bear this decade is Succession.
Same.
I think that's the only one I can say is definitely better than The Bear.
We also had a really good season finale and had some crazy moments as well. Succession has been incredible. I think when it's all said and done, when it comes to The Bear, it's definitely going to be a top ranking show for a lot of people on their list. But how do we feel about the future of not the show, but in terms of the actors now that it's kind of over for them? In terms of being on The Bear, obviously we've seen Ayo pop up in a couple of films. People have said that some of the majority of the films have been horrible.
But I don't think that's on hers.
I don't know about that still. I don't know about
which ones are you speaking of?
All of them. She has it. You know it.
I don't think she does.
What about Bottoms?
I think that.
I haven't seen Bottoms, yeah.
Bottoms.
Bottoms good, yeah.
Bottoms good. I think there's an AO problem that people don't want to say because we love AO. I love AO too.
Okay, I think you guys are mocking the name now.
How to say
It's
name?
Ayo.
I'm bad at saying names, by the way. How's this? Ayo.
Ayo.
Sorry, no disrespect. I'm for another show. Ayo, I feel like I think there's an issue with her in terms of, I don't know.
She's a good actor.
But I feel like her range, she doesn't have that much
range.
But mind you, we all do need to remember that she started off from comedy, stand-up comedy.
You know what, yeah? I just remember it now. I feel like her future is not acting. I think she's gonna be a great director and a great writer and a great producer.
Yeah.
I don't think in terms of being in a film is her strong suit.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what she does with Barney, with Daniel Kluwer. I think she's one of the writers attached to that. So I'm really looking forward to her behind the camera than in front.
I think she's. Again, I think the problem for me is range in regards to her. There's a lot of actors and actresses that we love and enjoy that don't have a great level of range. And I think, unfortunately, because she's in so many films as well, it's more noticeable. You look heartbroken.
No. I was like, no, I said something, but I don't think Junior heard. He'll hear it in post.
Well, you said an actor that I like.
Yeah.
Which one?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise has no range.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
the people that I love, that I cherish, I'm not biased against. I can admit when they're not good.
Like, Tom Cruise is a very good action. He's a very good
but
actor in action.
he has no range.
I don't
But
want to see him
I'm
in
excited to
romance.
see what he will do in Digger. I think Digger will probably get some form of difference. But I think it might not be any different than what he did in Tropic Thunder. I think it'll be very like satirical, comical actor. So I think that's her future. I am quite skeptical about Jeremy Allen White. The next big film we're going to see from him
Bruce
is
Springsteen didn't do that well.
It didn't do well. I think that film was bad.
He was good in Iron Claw.
He was good in Iron Claw. I think he was good in Iron Claw, but I don't think enough people saw it. So it's kind of like brushed past people. I don't know if people even remember that he was in that film or even know about that film.
Wasn't he like...
Yeah, I mean
all of them, but what?
Yeah, but like, wasn't he one of the first? Or wasn't he the first?
No, he was like second to last.
Yeah. See, I can't remember the plot.
I
can't remember the plot.
That film made me cry, boy. Shit, man.
Fantastic film,
used to have brothers.
Oh, that scene killed me. Especially as someone that has brother. That's crazy.
Do you know what's so mad about the film? Sorry. They had to leave a brother out.
Because it was so dark.
It was so dark. That's crazy.
There was too many of them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That being said, I do respect the fact that obviously it's based on a true story that each person that passed away, they didn't show it on camera. It was off camera to pay respect to them, which was pretty cool. But I'm skeptical about him because even though I'm looking forward to this film, I'm scared for this film, and that's The Social Reckoning. I think that's the next big film he's going to be in this year. It's not looking that.
Is that a Social Network thingy?
Yeah, it's a sequel. This time David Finch is not involved. Obviously, the writer of the first one, he's directing it, which can always be quite scary for a writer to start directing. Might be too heavy in dialogue. Instead of like thinking about the visual side of things. So I'm scared for him. The only actor that I feel like is
Jeremy Strong.
Is it Jeremy Strong? No, not in The Bear.
Oh,
what's his name? I can't remember. Lionel. I think he's very promising.
Ebon.
He's doing Ebon's doing great. Let's focus on Lionel real quickly because obviously we're seeing him pop up in films now, being supporting role. Obviously the biggest film of this year, Project Hail Mary, he was involved in. I feel like he's gonna be a great supporting act. I don't know if he'll ever get like lead unless it's his own project.
I want to see him in an action film. I think he's built for an action film.
Yeah, probably. Yes,
I think it's more for drama.
Yeah, I see that. But like I could see him doing a really good action drama.
Fair.
Like the American version of Idris Elba.
Fair. I can see that.
See?
I can see that.
Vision.
Yeah. But Idris Elba.
But not.
That's another one we need to talk about, bro.
But not Idris Elba in other films, but like as what's his name again?
Jingle Bell.
No. Luther. That kind of vibe.
I recently watched The Second Coming with Idris Elba and somebody else. I can't remember the name. Apologies.
Not good.
He's okay in it, but it's like I don't care for him as an actor. I don't think.
Yeah, Idris.
Yeah, man.
I think
he's in too many things.
He's
now.
like a Samuel Jackson now.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, there's not many things I can point to Idris Elba be like, he smoked it.
He's got a bad catalogue. His catalogue's actually not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. He went left at some point where, to me, I think it's more money driven than anything else.
But the performances itself is just like...
Yeah, he lost it.
Yeah, man.
He's on cruise control. So I think Lionel is definitely going to have a promising career. I would love to see him as a lead at some point.
Yeah.
What's his other actor's name?
Ebon.
Ebon. Out of all of them, I think he's one of the better actors.
Yeah.
Have you seen him just in an interview? That guy's different.
Very charismatic.
He's very like chilled, quiet, just like he's just very calm. He's nothing like Richie at all.
No, but he's very charismatic as well.
The only time he's charismatic when my man was making penis jokes next to him. Joseph Quinn.
No, but like
that's the only time I've seen him be charismatic. Other than that, he's been very much
I've seen him in a few junkets. Yeah.
The ones I saw,
you're forgetting. I watched junkets for breakfast.
Oh, fair. But I think he's got a promising career.
I think he's the best actor.
Yeah, he 100% is, and I feel like he's gonna. I don't know what he'll end up being in terms of a lead, But I think he's going to be in a lot of supporting acts for sure going forward.
I want more for the actress that played Tina, but I don't want her to go down the stereotypical route of what you see as a Latinx person.
It's starting to lead into that.
Yeah, and I'm worried.
Big film, she's going to be in a Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think they think she's going to be connected to Miles Morales, being Yaki's mother. So I think she's leaning towards that.
I think she's fantastic, and I hope to see her in more roles. But unfortunately, the industry itself doesn't cater to women that look like that. They don't have that many roles for her, which is a shame. But I hope that there's writers and directors out there that'll create those roles.
Maybe because of what we've seen her in The Bear that we get that, because she deserves her flowers.
I feel like she has good range as well as an actor.
Yeah.
Because at one point, I hated her character.
Oh yeah, the first season she was jarring. Yeah, I'm gonna go as far as hating her, but I disliked her. Yeah.
I don't know, disliked her. I thought she was kind of...
No, she was kind of a cunt. Yeah, Junior, you need to rewatch it. She was kind of a cunt.
Yeah,
but I feel like everyone else was just jarring. Like I think she was just used to a certain
No, but she was specifically going out of the way to make things worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the first season. Specifically going out of the way to make things worse.
Yeah. She hated change.
Yeah.
She hated it.
She's an older woman. Of course she
was. She's not that older.
No, it's like, now we have the context. She was grieving. She was still grieving Mikey.
Yeah.
Because that's her home, and that somebody else is coming into the home. It's like she's grieving.
Yeah.
But she was very dislikable.
Fair.
And the way she treated Syndey, she was a cunt.
Oh yeah, she was not nice.
She wasn't nice to Syndey. She was a cunt. But she was also a newcomer coming in as well.
Who's
this girl now telling me what to do? Yeah. So it was a lot. Lastly, what do you think about the future looks for Crystal? The creator, writer and creator.
Get back to the pen and paper.
The Bear. What do you want to see from him next? Do you think a feature film should be in a role for him?
The Bear original was meant to be a feature film. Okay. But then he got told that this is too much story, so that's why he ended up making a.
I think he's really good for TV.
I think I would like to see a film from him.
Really?
Something.
What type of genre?
So whatever genre you want to put, Marty Supreme in
drama.
So you want that type of you want that type of tone where it's like
just fast paced.
So like written by him, directed by both Safdie brothers type vibes.
He directs some of the Bear as well, so he can direct it.
Let him direct it.
Yeah, let him direct it. I would like to see a film from him.
But like that kind of vibe.
That kind of vibe, yeah. But or whatever he wants to do, but yeah, because as we can see from this season,
you know what would be the collab of a lifetime if him and Michaela Cole wrote together.
I fucking love that woman, man.
Hey.
They might clash though. Let him just write his thing, man.
Yeah.
They might clash, but
have you seen Mother Mary?
They'll definitely clash.
Yeah.
We'll
talk about this off camera. We'll talk about this off camera. We'll digress.
Mary.
Sorry. Mother Mary. Sorry.
You don't like that?
I love it.
Of course. I was thinking you had to like it. It's very much in the scope of like theatre of arts. Speaking of the arts, I think the Bear has definitely cemented himself in the history books when it comes to TV shows. I think they did shape a lot of mainstream culture. And I think even with the season coming to the end, there's still going to be a name that's going to be recognized as the years go on, and definitely probably even a blueprint for young creators that want to create their own type of TV show. I love the Bear. I guess we all love the Bear.
Yes.
Do let us know in the comments down below your thoughts of the Bear, your favorite episodes, your favorite characters, and also the stuff you didn't like as well. Shout out to Claire. Manny, thank you so much for joining us on this special episode talking about the Bear. It's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
And they, thems.
And they, thems. To the girls, the gays, and the days and the dames. And junior,
anyone in between.
Thank you.
Bye.